What's going on? It's quite a day today. Of course, because you're in it and you're part of it. You are all a bunch of creators, I know. Just wondering what you have on your mind today. What feels important and all of that. How you been doing with the new moon, the last eclipse? We had our own little earthquake here in the Bay Area. Good morning, Jamie Lee Wright. Good morning, Darla. How nice to see you. Oh, yay, yay, yay. So type in your question. Type in your question in the comments on the Facebook page, and I will ask the divine guides and Anubis and the Akashic beings of light to give you an appropriate and honoring answer. Your questions are honored here, and whatever question is on your mind is the question that's on your mind. There's no judgment, no evaluation, there's none of that. I just want to help. And, if it's on your mind, it's important. Oh my goodness, this is great. And have a little sip of my tea. Today, my astrologer, numerologist, Tanya Gabrielle, is saying we've got a 5-1 code. 1111 code for today. And so if you're feeling like it's a good day to start something new, this is it. If you weren't even planning on it, you might want to rearrange your day so that you're starting something new. Like really, today's the day to start something new because it's going on. The energy's here and with us. And the new moon is always a good time to start something new, as well as, we're in a new season, right? It's no longer summer. We are officially in fall. Just had the equinox, the autumnal equinox. And I don't know about you, but there have been a lot of emotions flying around, and it's been up and it's been down and it's been up, and things are kind of leveling off and easing up. Getting my 93-year-old mother moved into the house that we bought for her, and that feels really, really good, although it's a heck of a lot of work. lot of work. Okay, let's see. Okay, Jamie Lee Wright said, should I sell my house? I'm asking the guides, and I'm separating myself from any mental machinations I have going on about this question. I just want to see if the house is wanting you to sell it. Yes, and it's a lot to do. Remember the last move, and it's a good way to clean house and get rid of stuff and eject things, maybe even some people. If you're looking at downsizing, this is not a bad time to do it. And I could easily see you in a condo, although you might not like feeling so close in with people. At least in a house you feel like you have your own walls, all that kind of stuff. Let me just look and see what the timeline on this is. They're saying it probably won't sell until March, but between now and March you can do what is necessary to make it saleable and ready. If you need to do some painting, if you need to do some cleaning, if you need to do some reorganizing and getting rid of or tuning up the yard a little bit, this is a good time to do it. This is the time for new projects. This is the time for new phases in life. And, it just might be the way it is right now, is to get this going. I'm still wanting to tune into the house itself. Yeah, the house is feeling kind of hollow, and it's a funny feeling I get in the back of my neck, as if there's like a lot of dead air. It feels a little time to open all the windows, air everything out, really get some new energy going in there. It might be a good time to smudge or diffuse certain oils. And in your case, they're saying for your house, it wants myrrh and frankincense and sandalwood. And these are the top 3 in my world of highly spiritual, transformative oils. And I think that would be really good for the house. Okay. I'm feeling that you're also wanting to sell the house, because if you do, then you're not saddled with certain things that you've taken on, perhaps with grandchildren and children and son and daughter-in-law and things like that. That it would be one way to change the agreements. Now, you could just change the agreements. Perhaps write out a contract that you get you and the other people sign, so that it's posted somewhere obvious, like on the refrigerator, where everybody sees it, and change the agreements that are there. Because the agreements represent the old you and the old ideas that you had, and I think you've shed some of these ideas and you need an updating. Good morning, Cassandra, I see you. I'm going to move on to Darla for a moment, and I'm going to be coming back and forth between to Jamie in the house. There's some more messages coming in, but they're not quite even in energetically translatable forms yet. So they're right here. They're kind of a fog, right, coming in from the right. But they'll be coming in, so they say to go to Darla right now. Not a question. You just wanted to share. Oh, she's feeling so settled, happy, and contented. Yay! That must mean your body is healthy and happy too. This is really good to hear. What you've been doing for your physical well-being has also amplified, Darla, your cells' ability to heal. The mitochondria kicked into high gear, and they are healing and they're cleansing. They're ejecting the old garbage and able to take in new materials and lots of oxygen to restore and replace themselves. And it's like that fasting or intermittent fasting effect, that there's less going in that the body has to constantly deal with in terms of food, and there's more resting time, and so the body can actually go from digestion to restoring cells. And so I think it's really, really a good sign that you're feeling this good. And you know what? It kind of gives you this feeling like, maybe I can have some fun. Maybe I can go traveling. Maybe you and I should travel together. Want to do Italy or Greece? Something like that? Anyway. Let's see. looking at Jamie Lee Wright's house again and checking to see what's needed. Well, just general attention is needed to tune this house up. And if you did have the yard more in condition, if you did have a little higher level of order and less chaos in the house, how would you feel about continuing to own it? It would feel different, wouldn't it? And maybe you need to get some organizers in and some people to help you eject the stuff that you're ready to let go of, and practice physically letting go. Practice. Just do it. Yeah, there you go. I know, you're ready to let go of some old things. Feel that in the back of your head? Whoa, you are ready. So act on this. Act on this feeling that you're ready to let go of some things, and at least let go of 3 things today, physical things that you can let go of right away. Put them on the street with a free sign, take them to the Goodwill, whatever. Don't be attached to, maybe I could get some money for this, blah, blah, blah. Don't get bogged down in the details. Just find 3 things to get rid of, and demonstrate to yourself that you can let stuff go and suffer no harm. Letting go, you shall suffer no harm. It's much like what we were saying to Darla about there's less pressure on the body to constantly be digesting. Even too many things is a weight upon the creative mind. It crowds the ability to actually do things that you want to do. It's the visual thing of having too much out invisible, and it makes it hard on your body. It makes it hard on your mind. It crowds the mind, and the more crowded your mind is, the less creativity you have. And if you're looking for more creativity, more like authentic self-expression, then let go of the things that get in the way. Let go. Make it go away. You will be amazed at how good you feel. And report back in and let me know about what 3 things you got rid of and how you feel now that you've done that. It's because even if it's like an envelope, that's 1. Get rid of it. Take it all the way out to the recycling, the paper recycling, and that is considered get rid of. Even if it's some old jewelry, they're like, yeah, I'm not wearing this, it's tarnished, I have no silver polish, it's not good, I don't want to pay attention in that way, just let it go. Yeah, and do you feel how your mind starts to go, oh, that feels better already, just thinking about it? It's pretty remarkable how fast the energy responds to that. And if you get stuck on what to let go of, ask the divine. Ask your soul. You have a good connection. You have the ability to make this shift. It's like, for me, my AA steps really help me with all of this. The first one is I'm powerless over, and then you can fill in the blank, whether it's people, places, or things. I'm powerless over them. Now, you start to develop a relationship with the divine. You start to acknowledge that there's a divine that loves you and it has an effect on you and wants to help you. Maybe that's your divine soul. Maybe it's your guardian angel. Maybe it's one of your masters, teachers, and loved ones in your Akashic records. is here helping you. Step 2 came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity, because the insanity has been pretty thick lately, and this has been a trying time. We've been through two eclipses that are powerful, one on a full moon and one on the new moon, and it's like a 1-2 punch knockout. And the lineup of the planets is amazing, and today being a 1 1 1 1 1 code is all about new beginnings. Take that as you're like riding the wave of energy of new beginnings. And step 3 is turn my will and my life over the power of to a power greater than myself, and use that connection with the divine, that inner divine, that spark of light that you are is connected to the divine, with around you, in you, your divine creator, and acknowledging that and having that and experiencing that and exercising the power in that relationship, utilizing that. It works in our favor. And that means there's so much that I can do that with the divine's help that I couldn't do if I was just forcing things on my own, trying to, it's like trying to lift something that's too heavy. It's not for me to lift. I got to go get somebody to help me. And the divine is the best help ever. Best help you could possibly get. Let's see. Some of the trees in your yard need watering. They're very, very dry. And, a long, slow, drippy overnight watering would be really good. If you have a soaker hose that you can circle the trees with, and make that happen. They're very dry. They're asking for some help. Do you have a redwood tree in your yard? I never saw your house. I only saw it energetically all these years. I figured that would be pretty inventive if you had it turns out you had a redwood tree in your yard. Hard to water a redwood tree. They drink in through their leaves, and through their, all the growth at the top. That's why they like to be around fog. All right. So, my friends, what's next? What's on everybody? 'Tis the start of fall. Amen, Cassandra. It really is. The cooler nights, and I don't know about you, but last night I couldn't keep my eyes open watching TV. It was 7:30, and I fought it until about 8, and then I said, why? And I went to bed, which meant I was awake at 4. So, good morning. That's why I feel so perky. And it's the start of fall. Okay. I have a psycho neighbor that sprayed my front yard with toxins that killed $1,500 worth of new plants. Oh, wow. That's very interesting. So, I think that's a separate reading. That's a one-on-one reading, because we have to go into some very deep, it might be levels of exposure you don't want to have made public, and I want you to feel free to express yourself in that category. You might go to my website, www.anniechannels anniechannels.com, and see if we can't help you work some of this out and make peace in your neighborhood. I mean, are you going to let that chase you out of a house? That's a big deal. I mean, are you running away from conflict? Are you running toward an opportunity to make peace? Good morning, Teresa is here too. Thank you. Hi. How nice to see everybody. I really appreciate everyone's attendance. So, that's always a good one. I mean, conflict is not my favorite thing. I mean, some people are much better at it. It's a lesson in communication. And I don't think it's something that you want to handle legally, because that doesn't really work for you. That just creates more angst and drama and hard to predict future. You need to stay in the present moment in order to be in your power. So I think it's we should work this out in a reading. Go on my website and see what you find. And you were told that he does these things to be my hero. And how do you feel about that? Really, not, sometimes as a psychic, I get things wrong. And sometimes I get things right. It's, we're imperfect human beings, and so it's all right to go with what is empowering to you. And the way you put it first, that you have a psycho neighbor, now he's your hero, that sprayed your yard with toxins, now he's your hero, that killed $1,500 worth of new plants, now he's your hero. But maybe it's also to remind you not to take the victim stance, which is very easy for you. It's very easy to you. Yeah, invaded, trespassed upon, that's one way to do it, or one way to describe it. I think that feels more appropriate. And we can stand in our power without having to carry a shotgun. We can stand in our power and be the beautiful light that we are without having to threaten or provoke violence or evoke or present a violent or angry or malicious response to someone else, And maybe it's more of a, hey, what do we need to have happen here to get along? Hey, are you willing to make peace? Is there a way we can have a conversation? And maybe you have to have a mediator, not someone from your side, not someone from their side, but a completely neutral third party. And facing conflict and finding a way to find peace is really part of humanity's growth. And if we never do that, we will continue to have wars. We'll continue to have people who say this group is a bad group and that group's a good group, and this person's a good person and that person's a bad person. We'll be stuck in duality forever. And so perhaps when you think about this situation, you think about expand to include. Expand to include. It's my logo. Oh, shit. my rolling chair slipped out from underneath me. I like to have that on camera. You know how friggin' silly I am. All right. Expand to include. See along the bottom there? Expand to include. And make sure I get this on camera on the Zoom version, because that is good. A good saying. Doesn't show up very well on there. Anyway, enough of that. But expand to include means you're not always bouncing back and forth between good, bad, right, wrong, black and white thinking. And I know as a recovered alcoholic, that got a hair stuck here. I tend to have black and white thinking, either or, good or bad, right, wrong, up, down, and nothing, no options in the middle. So I think it's a good idea to find out how you can expand your consciousness. There you go, there you go. Rise above the two polar opposites. Yes, no, right, wrong. And not resist either one of those, but look around from a higher viewpoint and see what the options are. Maybe buy the neighbor a plant as a peace offering. You know, just declare it. Declare peace. You know, we get to do those things. We're in our humanity, in our, that's one of the options that we have. I've got one hair that's wound in my mascara now. And so find ways to step outside of the paradigm of duality. You're smart, you'll figure it out. But be the one to go first, to make peace first, to make an offering. You know? And you're sure you don't have gophers or moles? You know, I had gladiolas planted once, and I came out one day and they were all tipped over like this, and I was trying to stand them up, and they just came out of the plant of the ground, and they were chewed. The gophers or moles or whoever those creatures are that dig up in the dirt, dig tunnels under the dirt, who actually help aerate the soil, so they're good for the planet. Even if so they like to eat my bulbs, and so you're gonna have to plant the bulb in a wire basket, and some of that can happen to other plants too. If it's tasty and it's food for somebody, they're gonna want to eat it. Like that. All right. I'm wondering if anybody else has any big questions. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah. That was so weird. I've never fallen out of my chair publicly like that before. And I am 100% sober. I haven't had a drink since November 2nd, 2000. So, none of that, you know. But I got a little unbalanced, and I'm on a chair with wheels, and it's on a tile floor. So it slides. It's usually on a carpet, and it doesn't slide. So just destabilizing myself. So who else has a question this morning? Who else can we look at? What's the energy going on here? What are the new projects that would be helpful and useful? For me, it's just been all about getting my mom packed and then moved into her new house. Jamie. Yeah, yeah, okay. So that's the victim bully relationship. That's just part of the duality, and this has kind of been the thing that's following you around the planet is opportunities for you to assume the victim status, and there's a power in being a victim. It's like, oh, poor me, and people feel sorry for you, or you know you're the underdog and people want to save you, um, and that's been an ongoing issue for you. So maybe it's time for you to step out of being a victim and step into being someone who has all of her power in one place, and um, and takes the high road, you know. And so they're bullies. That just means they're scared and they're going to hit first because they think that's going to make them be less of a victim, because somewhere along the line they were a victim also, and the two of you kind of resonate together, bouncing off each other like that. But again, it's the duality. It's the polar opposites, bully and victim. And there are other options in between or above those two polar opposites that allow you to step out of the victim role and into your own authority. And but you got to really let go of being angry. It's because this has been the racket since I've known you, and it's if you like it to stop, then they're not going to change. You're going to change. I can't do life going, if you would just behave, I would be happy. Has that ever worked? Not really. So I have to adjust my stance and be in my power. And I might even have to take a risk and actually talk to someone. And I don't mean like, you're bullying me. That kind of communication, that's an accusation. It won't come across as communication or as a way of creating peace. If you want to create peace, put loads and loads of light in your body and in your heart, and get yourself into a state of really light-filled beingness. And stay there for about 3 minutes. And then extend a heartfelt line of light out to this person, and with a message that's encoded on a core frequency of love that says, let's make peace. There you go. And you may have to acknowledge things that you've done wrong that would have caused this other person some kind of discomfort or pain or irritation. Have I parked in the wrong place? Did I step on someone's toes along the way? And just whatever it is, acknowledge that and bring that acknowledgement into that heartfelt message, core of light, core of love, line of light, sending from your heart to their heart. Let's make peace. You can also do the Ho'oponopono meditation that I did at the 7:30, and it's now up on YouTube. So it's one of my most recent uploads on my YouTube channel, Reverend Annie Batchelder, Psychic and Channel, on my YouTube channel, and you can do that. All right, Davina Hansen. This is a real question. How can we learn to hear our guides more clearly? You have to really divest yourself of self-doubt. And it could be the doubt that you're going to get it wrong. That can't be true. It's got to be my imagination. That's the doubt of this can't be the answer. It should be more dramatic. In my experience, my guides are speaking very simple, sometimes 3-word sentences. Take a nap, or eat carrots, go for a walk, go walking. You know, the 3 oils I mentioned are frankincense, myrrh, and sandalwood. Frankincense, myrrh, and sandalwood. So when you're listening to your guides, what message is coming in that touches your heart? Even if it's just like, just relax, everything's okay. I've always gotten that message, and every time they give me that message, that's what I need right now, right at that moment. And lean into it. Say, okay, I'm receiving this, and let them help you relax. You can ask them, ask really questions that are open-ended, perhaps not yes/no questions. Those are fairly easy. You can tell whether you're getting a yes or a no. Some people go, am I getting pushed forward or pushed back? I don't have to do that. I just go, is that a yes or a no? And boom, it comes out as the word. It's as if that word shines like a neon sign. But questions that ask for more information start with, thank you, Darla. So questions that start with what, why, or how are the most inviting. What is going to help this situation? How do I grow past this? Why is this in my space? How does this help me evolve? What is this representative of? How is this a pattern in my life? How is this experience helping my soul and my personality to evolve? Using those what, why, and how opening questions really begets more information coming to you. In my experience of being a channel since 1988, and believe me, when I was a beginner, I was a total beginner. I had no idea what I was doing, and just had to go in blind faith and just start to get the words. And in your case, I think that the thing that you should be looking for is what does it feel like, and when I'm hearing my guide, how is my interior feel? Is there a sense of quiet, a sense of peaceful energy coming in? Is there a sense of love and appreciation or validation for who you are? And, everybody grows through difficulties. Believe me, I just had one of the wackiest fights with my sister ever. And it ultimately brought us to a peaceful conclusion and a peaceful solution. Not like a conclusion like, I'll never talk to her again. I love her. She is great. She's a powerhouse. And but it was just painful in the process. Painful. So hearing your guides is also, are you getting words like in your ear or in the middle of your head, like inside your brain? Just gonna let this noise go by. I think Recology is sweeping the streets. Anyway, uh, are you getting a sense of, and it's my sense of knowing. My sense of knowing says that my guide is saying this. My sense of knowing. I feel in my body these sensations when I'm connecting with my guide. And you may even ask your guide, how can I connect with you more reliably? And your guide will tell you. You know, it might be stop drinking so much coffee. And I'm not saying that that's what, well, you do drink a lot of coffee, but apparently. Or just bring the caffeine levels down a little and talk to your guides at a time and during the day when that's not like you're going to get jacked up and ready for this day, like you're going to go as far as possible. How else does she need to listen to her guides? They're really, the threads of your guide's energy going into your heart are very, very, very fine. And so if you'd like, you can almost, not almost, you can envision that you have a volume control somewhere. Maybe it's on the back of your neck or at the tailbone, the base of your spine at your tailbone, and you adjust the volume control. Maybe it enlarges those frequency lines that come into your heart, makes them a little thicker, a little more durable, and tell your heart it's okay to receive this positive, validating energy and information. You're safe. These are not guides that are going to tell you to get a gun and go shoot a bunch of school children. This is not the way it is. So I think there's a little distrust in there that you're going to hear something bad, or that now all of a sudden you're going to hear dead people talking all the time. You can also turn the volume down to like 0 or 1 if it's time to go to the grocery store and get the job done of shopping for groceries. Don't go in there with all your psychic windows open and your tentacles of energy feelers waving about. You know, turn it down. Turn it down. Come back into ordinary reality. And being just the exercise of going, okay, I'm going to turn it up and spend 1 minute there and listen. And then I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to do some kind of ordinary reality business. You know, clean the sink. Something normal. Take the garbage out. Then come back in, turn the volume up again, and say, all right, I want to hear you now. I'm open to listen. Yeah. There you go. That felt better. That feels a lot more safe. And now, turn it down again and go water a plant. Come back. Turn the volume of your receptivity up. Oh, going all the way to 9, huh? Oh, that was a little too loud. I could hear you. Boo. That was too much. All right, so just turn it down. Like, go to see what 7 or 8 feels like. There you go. And you may, it's a volume control, and it's volume, but it's also the intensity. And you know, it's easy for us Americans to, thank you, Davina. You really do, that's great. It's easy for us Americans to go, we want it on full, give me the big dose. But the truth is, there's some finer adjustments that make it right for you. You know, this is not like a Disney ride and we're going for, scare the crap out of me. I don't want to be scared. I want to be soothed. I want to be calmed. I want to be loved. And I want to be able to transmit soothing, be calmed, and loving, validating energy from what I'm receiving. There you go. Yeah, okay, now let that energy come further down your body, like into your second chakra, or below your belly button at least. Lots of different feelings here along the neck. Good, 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 good. See, that's opening up the receptivity. Right, okay. So now ask your guides, what is the most valuable activity I can do that helps my body today? Yeah. It's a small answer and it seems like really ordinary, but that's the answer. And you go with it. Trust it. See, it's developing a trusting relationship between yourself and this guide. You're getting to know a being of light. You're getting to know this entity. But you want to get to know them as an energy that is different from yours. You know, when I sat down to channel the first time, I felt my guide's energy come into me. And I just wanted to have enough time with that energy to go, okay, that's my guide. Oh, I can feel that's my guide in different parts of my body, moving around. Very kind, very gentle, very soothing. And I wanted to feel it as different than mine. My energy is my energy. My guide's energy is my guide's energy. And I wanted to be able to track it. There you go. And make the distinction between me and not me. There you go. Good. And you may find that things are opening up in the back of your head, your neck, and your upper shoulders, like behind your heart. Because in my world, the guide comes in through the back of the head and neck, through the voice box and the mouth, but also taps into my heart because my brain. So it's going up and down my spine, and it's going to, my guides use my body, my mind, my memories, my anything in my experience space that can be tapped to communicate with me. And I don't need to be afraid of it. They really love us. They really want to have gentle, empowering relationships with us. Yeah. All right. I think we're coming to the end. Are there any, as we like to say, burning questions that need to be answered before we close out this day? Oh, Davina, you're so welcome. Jamie, I'm so glad to be useful to you, Jamie. And thank you, Darla. Thank you, everyone. Cassandra, all the people who have been here this morning. I probably missed a few and I apologize. But I'm so appreciative that you're all here. And if you haven't bought my book, I recommend you buy my book. It's too far away for me to reach. I might fall down again. I didn't set myself up. Here we go. There's one here. This is a copy that I work on when I'm doing little edits or I'm just rereading things and I'm separating out some quotes. I work with this, but it's called Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness, an Akashic Records Guide to Living a Fulfilled Life. And this is an empowering book. This will teach you more about receiving messages from your guide. It'll teach you how to open your personal Akashic records, the record of your soul's entire journey, your past lives, your present, the possibilities for the future, all of that. It empowers you. There are 13 open Akashic Records exercises in here, and there are 5 different invocations, prayers, affirmations in here as well. And it all works together to give you a strong bond with your soul, which automatically links you to the divine. And you will learn to hear your guide in your Akashic Records, and you'll hear your soul talk to you as well in your Akashic Records. So you can get this book on, the usual print book places. And it's also on Audible as an audiobook. I narrated it because the different chapters are channeled by different guides, and I needed that energy to come through my voice and be carried into the recording of the chapter. And at the end of each chapter, there are questions for you to write your answers to, and that helps you know what your Akashic Records are teaching you. Helps you to really know what you learned. All right, I love you all. Oh yeah, and you can get an autographed copy with this little sticker, gold sticker on here that says autographed copy from me if you email me, and we'll make arrangements for payment, and I'll send it to you by mail. All right, thank you again. I know. Okay. Thank you folks on YouTube. Appreciate your time.